Hey everybody, so this is kind of like a addition to my previous video overview of the 01 EDC slider with the, I think they call it the rotate and straight push liner. I think that's what it's called, I'm not sure. Can't remember now. So yeah, if you've watched my previous video, I said I'm going to go through what came in the boxes. So actually let's do this one first. So this is the one that the liner came in. And basically you get a lot of spare parts. So you get some small spare balls, spare springs, spare magnets. What are the magnets for? Do you know what? I have no idea. 2 tools. And you also get some brass caps, but I've actually used the brass caps, so I'm going to leave those out because I'm going to need those. So you basically get everything in the package to modify the liner. Okay, and then this box here is what the plates came in. Obviously similar packaging, you just get different tools. So this, you get the screws for the plates, because the plates just come as is, they don't have the screws in them, so you get all the screws. You get 2 spare screws as well, they are crosshead, and then you get a little crosshead screwdriver. So again, you get everything that you need to put the plates on. So I like that, when you get all the parts that you need. So, and again, as I said in my previous video, this all started because Mark Chang from Play for Beans gave me a plate for this slider about a year ago, but I didn't have the slider. He didn't want it back because I offered to send it back to him, because obviously it was a very generous gift, but I don't want him wasting his money. But he just said no, keep it, and eventually I decided to get the slider. So it's just been sitting in the drawer for a year. So I don't think I've ever opened this. I've opened the box obviously, but you get, so what do you get? So again you get spare parts. We've got a little ball in there, we've got some screws for the plate, you've got the Phillips screwdriver, crosshead screwdriver, and this I believe is the buttons underneath, because this is the Game Boy plate in PEI, and this is a spare little window. So you get some stickers and things like that. So I'm going to get those out. So yep, never opened this before. It's got clicky buttons. So yep, let's open it up. So yeah, this has been just in a drawer for like a year. Thank you, Mark, if you're watching this. You didn't have to give me this. I finally got the slider, so yeah. So yeah, that is the right size. Do you know what, when I was looking at it there I thought, oh my god, is it bigger? It's not. Maybe a little bit thicker in the plastic, but it seems like it will fit. So you've got little buttons there, that's around the wrong way. So you've got like a D-pad thing there, and the little buttons there. All the buttons, they don't individually click, it's just one big button. And then you have got a little ball and that little maze thing there. I think that's really sweet. I really like that. And is that a spare ball? The spare ball isn't black, it's a little stainless steel ball I think in there. So there's a little option there. Now I know that front panel can come out, but I don't actually know how it does come out. I don't think I'm going to experiment with that. So you've got some screws on the back here. Actually, that's probably how you can get it apart. Is that right? Yes, must be. So I'm not going to take the plate apart for now. I'm going to leave it as is. But we're going to take this apart. So, okay. I'm going to see if I can get this any closer. Okay, we'll see how this goes. I've zoomed in because I think sometimes it's quite hard for people to see what I'm doing when it's sort of quite far back. I don't like zooming in on my phone, but you know, it is what it is. So what we're going to do, we're going to move, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take apart the whole thing and just show you how this comes as is. put those spare screws back, don't want to lose those. So the most difficult piece to take off is actually the bottom piece, so it's this piece here. And that's only because it comes that far, but then it doesn't, you know, go out this way as well, so it stops there. So you need access to the screws under here. So we've got like a pivot piece in there, well, not a pivot piece, but I guess a post. But I am going to take those off. Apologies for how dry my hands are, they get terrible in winter. Right, so we need the other tool out of here, which is the accessory bag for the liner. So what's nice is I think these drivers are magnetised, but the problem is everything sticks to them. They're quite neat little drivers as well, quite decent quality. So I am going to undo this. Sorry, wasn't on camera, so I'm going to hold it down. So this essentially will slide off. So there are magnets in there for definite, so that's why you get some spare magnets, because they're attracting to them. So there's the two springs. We've got two balls here. There we go. I think they're silicon nitride, which is good. I usually prefer that material. And then we've got the little brass caps here that I already put in. So there we go. They're like a little dish. And then you've got like a flatter piece on the other side. So the balls sit in the dish part. So I'll put them down. And now we can access the other screws here. Doesn't take a lot to get these screws out. They're very short. They don't feel like particularly brilliant screws, so I'd just be careful that you don't over tighten them. So there we go, there's a plate there, and obviously this is the other part of the liner. So I'm not going to put the liner back in, actually. I'm just going to show you the liner in pieces, I think. Otherwise I'll keep you here all day. So this part is really easy to undo, because you can, to get the plate off, you can access all the screws on both sides. So this is the simpler part. It'd help if I didn't drop the tools. I have got better tools, but I just wanted to show that you basically have everything you need to change this up with what you get. So here we go. So I'm not going to attach that back in, but basically this is how the liner comes. And it's very well made. In fact, you can use it without plates. It's not really that great to use without plates, but it's usable. But I would recommend the plates. It's a nicer experience and also prettier. So yeah, there we go. So I'm going to show you how to take this top piece apart as well, because I don't know, I haven't seen any videos on this particular liner before. So to get this piece off and access the balls and springs underneath, it's very simple. So this brass piece comes off, you've got two screws here, and that's where you get them off. Again, hold the brass piece down, because obviously the springs are under tension. So I'm very going to carefully sort of turn it the other way and then just let it go. There we go. Easiest thing to do. So we've got two springs in here. So what happens is, oh god, everything's attached. Right. The springs go in these holes here, and then you can put your caps in and then the balls, or you can just put the balls in. And there we go. It moves across like that. So let's just remove all the pieces here. So again, silicon nitride balls, brass caps and the springs, and this is the brass plate underneath. So yeah, simple actually, not too difficult to take apart. I've not taken this apart underneath, I don't want to be honest. I don't really feel the need to. That's the rotating part. I'm not going to try, I think I might mess it up. So yeah, sorry. I'm not going to be doing that. So there we go, and that just goes back on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put everything back. So let's put the springs back in. So like I said, this is the easy end of it. So it can be a little bit of a pain balancing the brass caps. I'm going to have to get my tweezers out. Okay, sorry, for the life of me I couldn't find these. And now the cat's back. So come on. There. Oh. Right, there we go. So, got very carefully just sort of plonk that on, and you can, before you screw it on, just check that that works properly, and it does. So, there are the little black screws that went in this piece. There we go, with crosshead. And I'm not over tightening them. They don't really need to be over tightened. Oh, sorry, keep going off the screen. I'm not used to doing close up or zoomed in. There we go. So that's on. So now the more difficult piece is also going to be this piece. So again, what we're going to do is we are going to put the springs in first. It's easier just to do those with my fingers. There we go, they're sitting in there. Get the brass caps. I think it's highly unlikely I'll be able to get this right in one go, but we shall see. And just be careful if you do this, because you know these little bits go everywhere. Do it on a tray. Oh, I didn't want that to happen. There we go. I think I did it the other way round, so I'm going to put it back the way I had it earlier. So you've got to slide this on. I don't think it matters which way round, because it looks the same each end. So get this on so that slips onto that track, and then all I did earlier was actually I just held the balls down. So Sean does this on his own video as well, but I think he uses tweezers to hold them down, and for me I think it's going to be more fiddly. I had more control with just holding them down with my fingers and then sort of moving my nails across. There we go, to keep them down. There we go, that's on. So test it, but don't slide it too far, because obviously you don't want it coming off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this post in now. Although, oh no, what I want to do actually is get the plate back on, get the screw on. I'm going to put these bits in first before I put that post in, because once that post is in, you're kind of limited. You can only get the screws out on one side, but actually if you take the post out you can do this, you can move it carefully from side to side and access them, so you don't need to take the whole lot apart. Oh. Yeah, there are definitely magnets everywhere in this slider underneath because these screws are a little bit annoying. Sorry if I keep going off of the camera. If it's terrible, I may have to do it again. So I'm just making sure they're snug. Yeah, cool. I think that's all right. We'll find out once the post is in, and then we can slide it all the way and test it. Yep, that's all good. So that's the bottom plate on. There we go. So, now I'm going to put this plate on. So, oh, I see. I'm guessing that I'm going to have to take those screws out, and then I wonder if they're the same size as the others. Okay, right. Right, as this is PEI, I'm going to be very careful with these screws and not over tighten them whatsoever. They're longer screws. There we go, so they're much longer than these. So, oop, see a comparison there. So, right, I definitely want to use these black ones then. Oh, they're tight. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So that little saucer that came in the spares, so you only get one, which is a bit of a shame, but they're for the buttons, so you get that clicky feedback. I don't like how tight they are. Don't come apart. Oh yeah, I can take it apart. There we go. So you're going to have to be careful you don't lose that little ball if you do that. And there's a very thin channel down the middle. I thought that was actually a gap, a hole, but it's not, it's just a thin channel because I thought if there's a gap the ball's going to fall through. But it isn't, so let's just put that carefully back on there. So that means, really, just think, which way do I want it? I want it that way, I think. I'm going to have to put it down like that so that the plate doesn't come apart, if that makes sense. Oh, this looks awesome. So I'm such a big Game Boy Nintendo fan. So yeah, anything like this I absolutely love. So I had no idea what Mark was going to send me when he sent me this. Yeah, it was a complete surprise, so thank you, Mark. If you're watching, you're wonderful. Okay, I'm not over tightening those, just doing a little bit, time making sure they're snug. So it looks a bit strange. It's a bit lighter now. That is cool. I do really like this. Little bit of a hot spot on these buttons. They're not, you know, they've got quite hard edges around the buttons because they're so small, to be honest. But it's not terrible. And I like the fact you've got that extra fidgetability. And then you've got that little little maze ball. I like that. A little silent thing to do, I guess. Sorry about the cat. I've been doing videos too long. She wants my attention now. So yeah, this is cool. I didn't know how it was going to look with the liner visible underneath and against the metal, but actually it kind of reminds me of the Game Boy Color, kind of fantastic, around 64, fantastic see-through plastic, acrylic or whatever. I had the, what was it, Atomic Purple Game Boy Color as a kid, and I had the Ice White Game Boy Advance as a kid, and they're both sort of translucent. Yeah, this is awesome. I would say I would definitely not want to drop it. This PEI is so heavy. This PEI would shatter, I think, on impact under its own weight. So that's only one thing. Is I'd love to actually now have this in titanium or stainless steel, but they're sold out everywhere. And to be honest, I'm just grateful to have this one because they're not cheap, and you only get one plate. And the fact that this was given to me as a gift, then yeah, amazing. Thank you, Mark. 1 second. So, zoomed back out again. So, one thing I forgot in my previous video was there's another con that I sort of noticed and should have mentioned in the previous video is this top plate, where it rotates, it doesn't always line up well. So it's usually off because there's a point there where it will move and then a point there, so it's not quite it's a little bit rattly. I get why, but it's a bit of a shame. I think it could have been fixed possibly with a magnet here and a magnet on the opposing plate that could kind of keep it lined up when it's closed. I don't know, not particularly strong magnet, but it's a little niggle. It doesn't really bother me that much, but it is noticeable, so I'm mentioning it. So I don't know, I would imagine the just normal rotating one is probably the same. So there's a little bit of play there, but it's not a deal breaker, most of the time, when you're holding it, you're going to be using it anyway. Yeah, this is cool. I like it. Love the Game Boy aesthetic with that little maze in there. And the clickies are good. Yeah. Oh no, I just noticed it says 01 there. Just in the plastic there. Yeah, neat little thing. 01 EDC do good stuff. They're just, quality control is pants. So I love this fidget still. This is the Pop 2.0. Little update, this fell off, the patch fell off about a week ago. Like, I keep this indoors really, or, where I know it's going to be safe if anything falls off, but luckily it fell off pretty much when I was using it, so I was able to sort of clean off the old glue and glued it back down with the glue that G1 gave me. But yeah, I can't really see how any of this could go wrong, except maybe this piece here. So, this is probably glued in. I think it's brass. Whether that will come out at some point, I don't know. Time will tell. But yeah, this is great. Really sweet. Thank you, Mark. Again, if you're watching, thank you very much. If you have any questions about this, if you have one of these different plates or anything like that, you know, let me know. Let the others know down in the comments. And I hope the disassembly was useful, and I'm sorry if I moved off camera sometimes and things like that. Paying too much attention to what I'm doing rather than if I'm in frame. Not used to that. So yeah, okay, take care everybody, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.